Morning, gentlemen. Now, on Tuesday, there was a terror attack in Pahalgam, almost 150 to 200 kilometers from line of control. A brutal attack by terrorists in which number of innocent lives have been lost. A reminder yet again to all of us कि आराम से नहीं बैठना. Now, let's begin with the facts first. One, even if the attackers are foreign terrorists, they had to infiltrate deep into the Indian territory. Now that means logistic support on the ground. Someone had to guide them, someone had to house them, someone had to feed them information, right? And maybe even after the attack, someone must have helped them to get away, to escape. Now, disgruntled elements are always there in any society, they are found in any society. So, as a society, we need not do anything which may further alienate the locals and also create too many disgruntled elements. Second, the terrain we know is difficult, forested, steep hills, rocky paths. Now, it is ideal for terrorists to hide, attack, and melt away, but difficult for the security forces to track them and eliminate them. A terrorist, therefore, it is said, a terrorist have to be lucky just once, whereas the security forces have to be lucky every time. So, this time they were lucky. You never know that 100 times or more, even more than that, the security forces must have been successful in foiling their attacks, and this time they got lucky and we paid the price. Third, this was not a random attack or some act. It was a meticulously planned strike. Four, the message is very clear. The peace in Kashmir still bothers some. Obviously, we know across the border. And this might be the message they were wanting to send all across, that it's in Valley there is no peace still. However, as a common man, notwithstanding all this what has happened, we need to ask questions from the decision makers, right? And we must do that. Always, it's a duty. First, where is that isolate Pakistan policy now? What is happening to it? Pakistan just hosted the Cricket World Cup. All the teams came and stayed in Pakistan. Many of them have in recent years have been playing cricket matches in Pakistan, right? IMF continues to bail them out economically. American and Russian delegations are visiting Islamabad. Economic cooperation, various deals came. So what about isolating Pakistan? Have global priorities quietly changed and moved on? Or no one is now paying heed to our need? Then is question 2. Are gaps widening in our counter-insurgency grid? We had a very successful counter-insurgency strategy in Kashmir. We have been successful, right? However, we know that there was no recruitment during COVID. Then came that Agniveer, Agnipath. Even former Army Chief General Narwane in his book, which has not been released, उन्होंने उसमें मेंशन किया उन्होंने, it was a bolt out of the blue. He talked about Agnipath scheme. And due to that, the Nepalese Gorkhas have stopped joining Indian Army. So many Gorkha regiments must have been facing shortages, and many top ranking officers, army officers have been writing on it, about it. Now thereafter, reportedly, we diluted the counter-insurgency grid in Kashmir to deal with the China threat. Now, if that grid is thinned out, what is being done to plug those critical gaps in view of this whole thing that is happening no recruitment, Agnipath, Gorkha regiments. So is this not impacting the armed forces? And if at all, then we need to look at it and plug those gaps. Then comes another question. Are we overextending ourselves against China? Now, we share almost 4,000 kilometers of border with China, whereas with Pakistan, 15. Now, it's almost 3 times of the line of control that we have. Same amount of forces, same budget. Are we being compelled advertently or inadvertently to sort of convert the LSC into another LOC? LSC is with China, line of actual control, right? Are we not stretching ourselves thin to show our resolve? Is this sustainable? Now, why I'm asking this is, line of control, we have huge resources deployed just to manage that line of control. Now, if same thing happens with the line of LAC, we will be really very thin on ground and we will be frittering away our resources. What is being done about it? We need to think of. Do we still have the option to retaliate? Now, after Uri and Pulwama, we acted decisively and struck twice. But now what? Will this eye for eye and tooth for tooth work anymore? Or has the strategic momentum slipped? Why can't we find another appropriate method to teach the perpetrators of violence a lesson each time they resort to such cowardly acts? Now, we cannot afford to be complicit. Pakistan's obsession with Kashmir is not just military, it's existential. The animosity against India is the basis of their existence, and we should not forget that. And they cannot afford it to let go. Whereas our basis of existence is not animosity against any community. Hence, we must not do anything which may alienate the local population and which may in turn help the enemy. Now, in view of all this, we need to be always step ahead of them in our thoughts, in our plans and execution. Now, after these 2 surgical strikes and revoking Article 370, we had almost seized the initiative. It was Pakistan which was reacting. Now, we must not allow initiative to slip. We must retain initiative. And therefore, questions need to be asked so that the decision makers are always on their toes. Accountability is the foundation of national security. Thank you. Jai Hind.